A show based on the facts, honesty, the man, the myth, the legend, ChristiTutionalist Joseph M. Leonard.
Welcome to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP, in association with thelibertybeacon.com, and I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's L-E-N-A-R-D. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show!
Hello, everybody. I need to look at my calendar real quick. I'm recording for Saturday, November the 16th, it's season 2, episode 74. I forgot what episode number it was. That's what I needed to look up, because today we are talking, there's the notes. There's the notes about movies. One movie particular. By the way, before I forget, I'm wearing my Behind the Mask movie theater captain shirt. You may have seen it during the Don Gallade movie talk episode, if you look at it behind the scenes on a video. And I have 6 videos in thelibertybeacon.com correlating piece, but let me finish this up. This is actually, I've got it on backwards. btmfilm.com, blank not working anymore, not valid. Let True Freedom Ring, John 8:32 from the Behind the Mask. Very good film if you get the chance to see Behind the Mask from a Christian studio here in Michigan, me coming out of the Detroit area. At any rate, hey, let's get one of those in real quick, real early. The show title. What's the show title? The show title from New York. It's Saturday night. No, not live, in theaters. You know me, the lame puns, the wordplay, can't resist, right? No, not live, in theaters. Couldn't resist the obvious title play there. And I have to tell you, I grew up, pretty much on Saturday Night Live on NBC, and I enjoyed it then. I think it's absolute garbage now. Like most of the late night programs, it's not funny anymore. It's not counterculture anymore. It's culture. It's woke culture. It's pro-leftism, cultural Marxism, yes, but not necessarily counterculture per se. It's counter to American culture that we're trying to preserve, but pro-cultural Marxism, undermining the culture, pro-woke, so, in reality, not really counterculture, if you're following me there on that terminology and the difference and distinction. But I did see Saturday Night, the movie, and I got to tell you, I was disappointed. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting, but I didn't get, I guess, what I was expecting. I was disappointed. I thought the casting was very well done. I mean, they got people who kind of look like, and in a few cases tried to sound like, the original cast members they're supposedly portraying. I just thought the script was not that great, and the material that they chose to throw in was not really very funny. I expected a comedy, and really I got a docudrama, and it just wasn't very good. Now, don't let me talk you out of seeing it if you want to see it. I just want you to be forewarned to not have your expectations real high, kind of like I might have had my expectations a little too high. And often case, if that is the case, then you're bound to be let down. You'll be disappointed because you kind of expect something and it doesn't quite deliver. I've had that with a few other movies recently. Blitz. I wasn't planning on going into that. After the first 20 minutes, bored. I thought it was dull. It was way too slow. I think that's a very important film, especially for like 20s to 40-year-olds to understand World War II a little more, and or war in general, the death, the destruction, the underlying bad situation. I'm not getting the word I'm grasping for here, but indeed the hard times caused by an actual real war, not some minor skirmish where we send in high-tech weaponry with our people and it's almost all but over in 2 weeks, but the cleanup and then the potential ongoing, what did we call it in Vietnam and South Korea, the guerrilla warfare activity that followed, like in Iraq, and then when ISIS cropped back up because Obama didn't keep control of the situation in Iraq. So I wasn't planning on talking Blitz, but again, don't let me talk you out of seeing it. If you want to see it, take somebody who needs to understand some historical perspective and things. I'm looking forward to Bonhoeffer, but I was looking forward to Blitz also. But I think Bonhoeffer will be greatly better. And I'm trying to think of also the other movie that I seen a few days before that I walked out of. I was just utterly disappointed versus last night, the day of this recording. I accidentally went to the show Elevation with Anthony Mackie and Morano, I forget her name. I was a fan of hers from the Stargate days, and she plays the wife of Daredevil in the Daredevil movies. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. You'll recognize her when you see her. But again, I liked her way back to the Stargate SG-1 TV series days where she really got it started. Same with, what's his name now? Oh, God, the big guy. Who plays Aquaman. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa really got his big start, his big break in Stargate Atlantis. So I knew him, liked him back then. At any rate, way off the beaten path, off the target, off the topic of the Saturday night movie, but yeah, talking movies in general here. So yeah, I was somewhat disappointed. And this is going to be kind of a short show. Go over to thelibertybeacon.com. There's 6 videos embedded in that article, including the 1-hour show I did with Don Gallade talking movies, mostly, but not all, Christian. So I want to get you out of here quick. Hope you'll go over to thelibertybeacon.com, read the From New York, it's Saturday night. No, not live in theaters piece. And indeed, watch that Don Gallade video. There are other embeds of videos of short clips. The Saturday night movie trailer is there, and a couple original clips, a Belushi clip, a church lady clip in there from the original Saturday Night Live crew and series. And I'm glad I said that way because that segues counterculture. I already mentioned that. The original SNL was counterculture. I knew that. I understood that. It was part of built in the comedy thereof. So Dana Carvey and Church Lady, from a Christian standpoint, didn't bother me. He didn't really cross a line very often. Maybe sometimes he offended somebody, but we have to keep a sense of humor. I have a TLB article, right? The need to keep a sense of humor. And we as Christians need to keep a sense of humor. I just saw tonight, earlier actually, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. A great movie. I forget the female lead's name in that also, but she also starred in another great Christian comedy, Mom's Night Out. We've got to keep a sense of humor. And I've mentioned before, one of my favorite Christian movies is The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. Uh-oh, I know, some minds are exploding. Uh-oh, resurrection and associated with somebody other than Jesus. It's a figurative, spiritual resurrection, not a literal one. People, please, let's keep a sense of humor. And it was a great movie because it isn't the traditional beat somebody over the head with a Bible type Christian movie, a comedy that non-believers, and believe it or not, The Resurrection of Gavin Stone, Blumhouse, the one that I think they did the Purge movies, right? The Fantasy Island, really weird reboot film of that. They do really dark, often horror movies. They teamed up with a Christian studio to put together The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. It's like blows your mind when you think Blumhouse had something to do with that movie. But at any rate, I was talking counterculture. Church Lady was funny as opposed to the communists dissing the Al Smith dinner and that Shannon chick with her anti-Catholic character, I don't think is funny, isn't being counterculture. Again, it's being woke culture. It's pro-culture. It's cultural Marxist in that it's anti-Christian, overtly and purposely, not in a fun laughter sort of way, but in a purposeful mocking sort of way. And the communists didn't go to the Al Smith dinner, but instead sent a video in with that dummy in it, mocking Christianity. And you may have seen during the election cycle here in the Detroit area of Michigan, Wretched Whitler, our governor, doing a mock Catholic communion mockery where there's a girl kneeling before her and she puts a Dorito on her lip and then they both look at the camera. We all know what that is. It's part of the culture, the cultural Marxism, not counterculturalism, wokeism, leftism, attacking our Judeo-Christian foundations, overtly attacking Christianity and the church. It's not funny. It's ad hominem, open, overt attack on Judeo-Christian ethos that we were founded on. That's an aside. I also wrote down Conclave. Yes, don't have a review on it at thelibertybeacon.com. But if you go look up me, J. Leonard Detroit, again, no Owen Leonard. It looks like Leonard. It's not French. Leonard without an O. The letter J, Leonard without an O, Detroit is my ID at beforeitsnews.com. There you can find a review without major spoilers of Conclave. And indeed, yes, it's just yet another bunch of big stars. So I went and saw it because of the big stars, but indeed a usual Hollywood attack on Christianity, and most specifically, obviously, the Catholic Church, because it's talking about a pope being elected. And
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM is your conservative flamethrower. Weekdays, Steve Gruber starts things off at 6 a.m. Gruber gives his perspective on the issues of the day. At 9 a.m., Glenn Beck blazes the airwaves with his nationally syndicated program. From noon to 3, it's Dennis Prager. At 3 o'clock, it's Wham's own Thayrone X. On the Edge, Thayrone tells it exactly as he sees it. At 6, it's The Dana Show, your conservative alternative. At 8, don't miss Joe Pags. Weekends are filled with conservative talk as well. Fingers Malloy, Thomas LeDuc, The Abolitionists Roundtable, A Moment of Clarity with Pastor Rick, Your American Heritage with Ed Bondarenka, Dave Janda's Operation Freedom, and Dick Kupke's Trigger Talk. You can even get links to Wham podcasts from Dave, Dick, and of course Thayrone, all from their pages on our website, whamradio.com. Keep it locked on Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM in southeastern Michigan, and whamradio.com anywhere in the world.
You really know it's an attack on all of Christianity and a wokest film when you see the ending. But again, I won't give away the ending. So if you get a chance to see it free on streaming, okay, I don't recommend paying for it. Do not put money in their pockets. I had to see it because doing a Christian show, I've got to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. I needed to see it to be able to talk about it intelligently to you. Now, the Dan Brown movies, I loved them. One of my favorite books of all time is Angels and Demons. I loved what they did with that regarding tying the issue of terrorism of modern time in, unlike Conclave. But again, I don't want to give big spoilers away. And the Catholic Church was out protesting the Dan Brown movies. Where were they protesting Conclave? It is worthy of protest. I don't think the Dan Brown ones were. I cannot necessarily agree with everything, but understand it's okay to ask questions and raise questions and things like that. And it doesn't destroy or hurt my faith at all. It's very entertaining and wonderful food for thought. What if Jesus was a father? Does that not make him even more family values and life oriented? So that doesn't upset me, even though it goes against most of our denominations. Canon is the word I'm looking for there. But indeed, the church in France exists where they think Mary escaped with child too. So there's a thread of truth. And I thought it was very entertaining. I didn't get all upset. Whereas Conclave, I thought really should have been protested. But go figure. So I'm going to wrap it up. Anthony Mackie with the Moreno, I get Elevation. I don't remember if I ever mentioned the name of that, right? I did see that. I didn't know anything about it other than him and her were in it. I like both of them. Elevation, it's a quasi The Quiet Place kind of spin-off or rip-off, you might say, but I greatly enjoyed it because, again, I didn't go in with an expectation. I knew nothing about it other than who was in it. So positively surprised in a good way at how good I thought it was. So I'm going to wrap it up here. That kind of concludes mainly to talk about Saturday Night, the movie, and the difference in the distinction between the left humor then that was counterculture, and we understood it, and we could laugh with it and along with it and at ourselves versus all the just woke ad hominem Hollywood attacks disguised as supposed entertainment. And when you put a lot of stars in it, you might think it's going to be better than it would be. And with Conclave, it was not. So indeed, at any rate, I'm just joking in another show. We need a little counter in the corner, right? Like, how many at any rates have I done? So we're going to wrap it up here. Yes, please check out the Conclave review and other movie-related pieces are linked in there at theforestnews.com, J. Leonard Detroit, or at beforeitsnews.com in the search field, put in conclave and see Joseph M. Leonard, J. Leonard, Detroit. Choose that one. And the Liberty Beacon at my full name there, Joseph M. Leonard in the search field, or of course, search for Saturday Night. No, not live in theaters. As you know, I can't resist that wordplay and pun for that title. So thank you all. Wishing you all a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. Please hope you have a chance to enjoy some great turkey meal with somebody and understand and remember what the holiday is about. Just like Veterans Day just passed, I have on my video channels a special regarding Veterans Day, and I put that same piece on my Wednesday Robert Boog discussing Shakespeare. That's actually, I'm recording this behind the scenes again, Tuesday the 12th, the Robert Boog Shakespeare controversy, and at the front, the piece on Veterans Day is actually dropping tomorrow morning, Wednesday the 13th, and this is airing Saturday the 16th. And of course, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all that stuff. And no, I don't get upset when somebody says Xmas, because we need to understand it's Christos Mass, right? It is an abbreviation of Christos Mass. It's not an insult. Let's get upset at things that really should be upsetting. Satan wins. If we get upset over silly little things or are at each other's throats over silly things, minor differences, let's focus on the things in Christ we can and do agree with. Merry Christmas. There will be a couple singer-songwriters in December regarding Christmas music. But again, happy holidays also is not an insult. I understand, you understand, we should all recognize it is Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, and some other holidays thrown in there. So saying happy holidays, I have no problem with the inclusion in that sense. Inclusion in that respect is not a dirty word, unlike in the DEI, or as we call it in Michigan, DIE, die, because it's about destroying our culture, cultural Marxism, destruction of Western culture. Okay, I'm done rambling now. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Hey, gang, I just wanted to take a brief moment, short video. I'm sure you see it. Instagram, Meta, it is the worst for ad scams and cons and phishing garbage to try to hook you into something from somebody overseas, promising you all kinds of stuff, and then, of course, never deliver. I took my chance on a couple here and there, a small amount, made sure I went through a pay processing service. So indeed, when they turned indeed to be a scam, a con, worthless, couldn't deliver what they promised, as a lot of cases with what they're promising you, you know better. But, I tried a couple, and indeed a couple were worth what they said they would do. And others, of course, not, and of course, go through the dispute process to get that money reversed and all that. But at any rate, today I got a email phishing scam from some marketing place out of the UK, and they're promising, get your book to be a #1 Amazon bestseller within 12 months. I sent back a reply, but I'm like, really? Seriously? You're not very good at your job if it's going to take you 12 months. And course, no price to be found in their 3-page email of, hey, look, we helped this author, we helped that author, which did they really, or did they just randomly pick a couple of Amazon bestsellers to promote? Look, they're an Amazon bestseller. No price. Sure, it's bound to be hundreds of dollars. And no, I didn't say, you're really bad at your job if it took 12 months. I felt like saying it. And the reality is it took 2 to 3 weeks for me to get Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You, #1 Amazon bestseller in multiple Amazon categories. So I just had to laugh at that. Just wanted to tell you about that. And indeed, if you're looking to publish a book, how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques, which if you buy the Amazon Kindle copy, you could get for under $10, not hundreds of dollars. And I take you through concept, writing, editing, formatting, marketing and promotion and reviews, all kinds of stuff, not just, hey, we'll help you get to be an Amazon bestseller. So for under $10, you can follow my low-cost advice and get to be a #1 Amazon bestseller. Generally, usually, certainly may not work every single time it's tried, but in general, within a couple weeks, a month at the most. And of course, if you're interested in podcasting, check out my podcast, Quick Start Guide book for low cost, low key. No, don't pay somebody $5-10 grand to help you set up a podcast you could do for under $100 if you really want to. At any rate, I'm laughing my butt off here. I'm curious if they'll respond to my response about hinting, you're not very good at your job. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. So, buyer beware, I guess, will be the title of this video. I didn't have it when I started it, but you all know the phrase, buyer beware. Indeed, shop around, look around, find if someone's credible or not before handing over your money for whatever it is. This isn't necessarily me trying to peddle my books. This is buyer beware, shop around, look for good pricing on anything. Books, yes, 80% of all books sold through Amazon these days, but you could sometimes find better deals. And I'm a big purveyor in shop local, whether it be books or records or hats or alarm clocks or Sharpie pens. Shop local if you can. You can often find a good deal. Thank you all. Take care, God. I'm already up to 6 minutes. I didn't even think this would last that long. Take care. God bless everyone. Please tune into ChristiTutionalist Politics podcast. And indeed, if you will, please, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I do well in Booktopia in Australia. Please check for Joseph M. Leonard. It looks like Leonard. It's not French. It's Leonard without an O. And yes, the middle initial M, because there is a Joseph Leonard who also writes books. Joseph M. Leonard, thank you all. Take care. God bless.
Hey, gang, a brief interruption in the show about Christmas giving, kind of, sort of, or to ask, are you a coffee drinker? What about other coffee drinkers you know? It's indeed Christmas giving time, Hanukkah giving time. Again, I want to ask you, those coffee drinkers on your gift giving list, socks that'll get put in a drawer, they forgot you gave them, a tie or a shirt that'll end up buried in the back of the closet, they forgot you gave them. How about something useful like blackout coffee? Yes, I am partnering with Blackout Coffee. You can use promo code JOSEL20, Joseph for Joseph, L20 for 20% off. JOSEL20 promo code. Or better yet, I've created a shortcut, tinyurl.com/blackout coffees. And of course, Blackout Coffees all run together as one word, not three separate words. So again, tinyurl.com. I love using their shortcut services /blackout coffees. Should take you right in and automatically apply your 20% discount. So for yourself or for others, this Christmas, give Blackout Coffee something you know they're going to use, something they're going to enjoy, something that they then fondly remember you and your gift every time they sip from the Blackout Coffee cup of coffee. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Merry Christmas. Thank you for having tuned in for ChristiTutionalist Politics show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you, or autographed copies are available online direct from me via terrorstrikes.info/shop. Be sure to check out more about today's discussion at thelibertybeacon.com, where my articles drop every Saturday. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to ChristiTutionalist Politics podcast and share episodes. We need your...
It is a myth that terrorism stopped during COVID. Unfortunately, mainstream media opted to prioritize pandemic hysteria over promoting all news. Terrorism continues. Simply hoping that it doesn't affect you is not a strategy. The new book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you, featured on The Author Show, is now available in paperback from bookstores, online, or as an ebook exclusively through Amazon Kindle. Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you by Joseph M. Leonard. Order today.